Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Sugar Sean. I'm back for another video, and welcome back to another letter that was sent to me from one of you. I know these are long overdue. Some of you love my strawberry letters, and I really appreciate that. But if you like me talking about dating and relationships, you should definitely be following me on TikTok, on my Instagram. You should watch my chit chats, because I talk about dating in all those kinds of videos, not just strawberry letters. But anyway, if you didn't know it, I'm a life and dating coach and the author of 3 books. The first one's called The Dating Game: How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code: The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck: How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com. And if you want to work with me as your personal life and dating coach, or if you'd like to submit a letter for a chance to possibly have it featured in an upcoming video, be sure to send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN, @gmail.com. All right, so now without any further ado, let's go get 'em. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 17 months. We met online during the pandemic and have been long distance for most of that time. We're both Christians and connect on so many levels. In September, he moved to my city. There was a 5-hour drive between our cities, and started a new job to be closer to me and to work towards marriage. Things were going great, and we started talking about marriage. He even contacted my best friend to talk about engagement rings and even making plans to purchase one. He told me that he wanted to get married in a year's time in the summer, but I did get carried away. I told him we should at least book a venue, a church soon, because summer's going to be busy with weddings, not to mention all the rescheduled weddings from the pandemic. I said to him, I don't mind actually doing these things before an engagement, so we don't have to feel pressure to propose to me really soon. Everything was going great. He is my dream man. He's from an amazing family who are also so happy and loving towards us. Back in July, he told me that he was feeling overwhelmed with all the upcoming life changes, moving, leaving his family home, starting a new job, that he was unsure if he wanted to marry me and wanted to settle in the city first and then revisit that conversation. So I agreed and haven't brought it up since. But I noticed that in recent weeks and months since the move, he really hasn't been himself or even invested much into our relationship. What I mean is that he's been really low in mood, down, irritable, doesn't plan dates, and whenever I'd mention anything like our anniversary or long-time plans, not marriage though, he would get annoyed. He's become increasingly pessimistic about his life and his job. He seems to be questioning everything, his career choice, where he wants to live, his passions. Recently, he told me that he's not sure about how he feels about me, whether he wants to be in this relationship or even marry me. He couldn't give me an explanation as to why. He said his mind is just too busy at the moment and that he can't pinpoint the problem. He said there's nothing that I could do to do anything differently. He was really anxious about the move and has had a bad experience a few years ago when he did move to a different city. But before the move, I kept reminding him things were going to be different because he still has his friends and his cousins within a few hours commute. And of course, he also has me. He expressed feeling he lost a sense of his independence since moving, where we'd have to schedule different times to see each other and have to put it on our calendars. He also compared the emotional connection that we have to one he has with his family. But I thought that wasn't fair because they've known him for 29 years and I've only known him a year and a half, and that kind of connection takes years to build. Besides, it's a different connection to one that he has with his family anyway. I've encouraged him to go back to counseling, and I myself am also seeing a counselor too. One hurtful thing he asked was, did I think that our relationship has caused all these issues to arise in his life? To which I responded, not at all. I think these questions about your life may have come up anyway. He wasn't exactly happy in a smaller city where he grew up, and he's been feeling like he wanted to move before. I asked him if he wanted to break up, but he said he was scared to. He said no, but told me that he wanted a 3-week break from the relationship and that he wanted to tell me at the end of the 3 weeks if he wanted us to continue. I'm sure of my feelings, Coach Sean, but he now seems like he's questioning everything. I feel super vulnerable waiting for him to essentially accept or reject me. Am I a fool for waiting? What if in these 3 weeks aren't enough for him? How long do I wait? Any advice you would give would be helpful. So I followed up because it had been a couple of weeks and I wanted to know if, since she wrote me, if he did contact her. So she said since the letter that she actually wrote to me, he did contact her and basically said, the time apart really isn't very productive. And so they did go to counseling, and after the first session, he does feel a little bit better, but he still doesn't have clarity about her or the relationship or basically anything. It's only the first session. So she's not sure what she should do. This one is a very difficult one. I actually had some reservations about filming it because I really don't want to hurt your feelings, but I have to be honest. You're saying you don't know, you're not sure how he feels. This man has told you. He has told you in more than one way, on more than one occasion, how he feels and what he feels. But I feel like you're not ready to hear it. And I feel like he cares so much for you on a personal, on a friendship level, that he doesn't want to hurt your feelings by telling you. But I don't think he wants to marry you. I think he's changed his mind about it. The man said that he feels the same way about you as he feels about a family member. I think the way he feels about you may be more on a platonic level. And I know you don't want to hear that, but that's what the man already told you. He says he's not sure if he wants to marry you. He asked you, do you think that you're the reason why he's going through so much stress? I think the relationship was completely different when you guys were long distance, when, you had the excitement of, waiting and marking it on your calendar for a chance to finally get to meet up and see each other in person. But now that he's in the same city with you, it's not the same kind of excitement that he felt when it was, kind of marked a couple of weeks away on the calendar. I also feel like you may have scared him a little bit away when you were talking a little bit about the marriage. Now, you did try to say in your letter, I haven't been mentioning it and all that, but the fact that you said, let's book the church, let's book the venue, let's do all these things before you even propose to me, let's go ahead and get the ball rolling, it added more pressure to it. You say, oh, don't feel any pressure, but let's book the church, let's do all these things, let's go ahead and get the ring. Like, you still were kind of pressuring him. And with the stress of the move and being away from his family, and also with you kind of being on him and him feeling like the clock is ticking on the wedding, you added to the pressure. And when a man is interested in a woman, he likes to feel like the woman is his escape from everything in his life, from his job, from, his career. He likes to feel like when he's with you, he can forget about all those things. And when you started talking about the wedding and he realized that he was on the clock, you added to the stress and the pressure. He even said, do you think that you're adding to the stress and the pressure? And you were like, no, how can I be? Throughout the whole letter, you keep acting as if you don't know what he wants. This man actually does communicate. You're just not listening to him. He has told you that he feels that the pressure that you're putting on him to get married, because he did mention it, you're not going to let him forget it. You want to keep moving forward. It added to the pressure. It's not easy to move to a new city where you don't know anybody. I say that as somebody who moved to a city who didn't know anybody. It's a lot. It's not the same as growing up and you're, a few minutes away from your mom, your grandparents, and your cousins and family and friends, and he just has you. And then he wants to go to you as his escape. You're like, he can tell that you want to talk about the marriage, but you're not. You're bringing up anniversaries and stuff like that. And that's, again, triggering the whole wedding talk. I think he needs to figure some things out. I'm not sure that he actually wants to get married. Or I don't think he wants to get married as soon as he originally thought. Before he moved there, he had all these plans about how he was going to go to a new city and how he was going to get a job and everything's going to work out. And he got there and got nervous. Men get nervous too. I think when you're in a relationship, you have to realize that sometimes he's the strong one and sometimes you are. Sometimes a man will come to the woman to lean on when life has been beating them down or they need a shoulder to cry on. As a wife of 17 years, I'm telling you, every now and then I have to be the strong one. And I think that when he moved and all of that, he was kind of leaning on you for strength, and he ended up having to place you in the stressful column because he knew what you wanted from him and he knew his time was running out. And instead of the relationship being fun and carefree and like we have all the time in the world, you kind of put the timetable on it. Now, he started it by saying, let's get married next year around the summer. But when you started talking about booking this and booking that, you made it all seem more real, more definite. You want him to pick a date. A man always wants to feel like a major decision, especially one like marriage, is his idea. When you started saying all those things, it's like you took him from the driver's seat and put him in the passenger seat, and you're like, I'm driving the bus. Because honestly, and I hate to say this, I really don't want to hurt your feelings, but I got to be honest. I feel like if you tell him, you know what, let's just break up. I don't think this is working out. I have a feeling that he won't fight you. You are fighting really hard for this relationship all by yourself. You're encouraging him to go to therapy. You're ignoring him when he's telling you he feels the same connection with you as he does with his family. And you're still like, nah, he don't mean that. It can't be the same. They've known him for 29 years. I've only known. You're not listening. You're hearing him. You're not listening. He's saying he doesn't have those sparks, that connection. He doesn't have that. Not in person, not when you guys are together day in, day out. Wouldn't you want to know before you married the man If he's not feeling, if the sparks and all that are already, dwindling for him, wouldn't you want to know that now? I know it's an inconvenience, and I know it's not according to the plan, and I know he said he was going to marry you, but you want him to keep his word, or do you want him to be in love with you, head over heels? Because I feel like if he marries you, he'll be doing it because he said he would, and he's a man of his word. As opposed to like, I am head over heels in love with her. I cannot live without her. I don't want to spend another moment without her. He already told you he needs a break. I think that he cares so much for you. You said the family loves you, everybody loves you. I don't think he wants to hurt your feelings by telling you that he changed his mind, but I honestly feel like he has. And I feel like if you even float the idea around that, you know what, it's on me, it's my idea. I think that we should just call it quits and let's just be friends, or let's just let this go. I think he will accept. I don't think he wants to be the bad guy by saying it, but I honestly think that's what he wants. Because this man doesn't seem like the kind of man who wants to get married. He wants breaks. He gets intimidated by the idea of you planning and all that. I think he's already under so much stress. He's not sure what he wants to do with his life. And he has you added to the pressure instead of being his escape from the pressure. And you're not wrong. He did say he wanted to marry you. But he also made all these huge changes, and he feels overwhelmed, like nothing is in his control. Not his career, not where he lives, not anything. Even if it was his idea to move, he still feels like the life that he's living right now is completely out of his control. And he's overwhelmed by it. I say to pray about it, to ask God what he would have you to do. You said you guys are both Christians, to pray together, to pray apart, and to ask God to show you guys if you're the right fit for each other. But I honestly feel like it's already really rocky. If the luster is already beginning to fade and we haven't even said I do, should you even say I do? You don't want a man to marry you out of any sense of obligation. You want him to marry you because he's head over heels in love with you, because he can't live without you, because the first thing he thinks about when he wakes up in the morning is you. You're the last thing he thinks about when he goes to bed at night. He prays for you. He wants you to have his children. He can't wait for you to have his last name. He can't marry you soon enough. I'm not trying to compare, but I'm being honest. My husband and I were engaged for 7 days because he literally could not wait. That's what you want. You want that fire, that like, oh, I just can't wait to make you my wife. If you know, be honest. Only you can say this. Be honest. Does that man make you feel like that? If not, take it down a notch. Step back a bit. Let him figure out what he wants, and let him be 100% sure that what he wants is you. And you don't move forward until you know that, until he shows you that, until he proves that to you. All right, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs up if you did. If you want to hear more of my thoughts and opinions on life and love, consider purchasing one of my books. As I said, I've written 3. First one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com. And if you want to work with me as your personal life and dating coach, or if you'd like to submit a letter for a chance to possibly have it featured in an upcoming video, send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN @gmail.com. All right, I love you guys. If you like this video, you'll love my last one, so I'll do you a favor and I'll link it for you right here. Be sure to subscribe right here. And also be sure to check out my recent chit chat video where we're talking about, girl, a lot of great topics. You guys are missing out if you haven't been watching those videos. Great discussions. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.